Pippen Jr., Jake LaRavia, and Jalen Wells for the Memphis Grizzlies. Jalen Crutcher, Jordan Hawkins, Eve Missy, and Trey Mitchell and Antonio Reeves for the New Orleans Pelicans. And it is Hawkins controlling the ball for New Orleans to start the game. Hawkins out of UConn, the first bucket.
And Chris, you saw the effect of Zach Edey. The point guard got into the paint, had an opportunity to try to shoot that float over him, but because Zach Edey's in the paint, he declined to try to take that shot.
LaRavia up to Edey, and it is broken up inside. It's a great defense on that alley-oop.
It was, but the alley-oop wasn't tall enough. When you're talking about throwing into a 7-3 guy, Chris, you need to put it up at least above the square.
Memphis with 8 seconds on the shot clock. They're working through Edey. The hook shot, up and in.
Nice, soft touch. And Chris, that's something we talked about in the pregame. Him going over that left shoulder with the jump hook is just devastating.
Hawkins, off. LaRavia hounded by Mitchell. Looking for Edey inside, to no avail.
Yeah, Chris, and look, Zach Edey had a perfect seal, and that's one of those passes that LaRavia needs to dribble down a little bit more and give it to him. But right here, Zach Edey going over that left shoulder with that soft touch on the baby jump hook can't be guarded.
G.G. Jackson with the pressure on Jordan Hawkins. Hawkins cutting back door. Kicks it out to Mitchell. Traby in. Mitchell breaking up the pass inside to Edey. LaRavia gets fouled, and we'll head to the charity stripe. Check out the good ball movement here, and it starts with a cut backdoor.
Yeah, Chris, the backdoor, which opened things up, allowed for the Pelicans to get a wide open three-point shot in the corner. And Mitchell, my namesake, drilled it.
You know, Jake LaRavia saying about this offseason after his first 2 seasons in the NBA, my percentages haven't been that great, but once I fix my finishing, it's going to be scary.
Yeah, and Chris, he's got to improve those numbers. But that's what summer league is about, giving you the blueprint, I've said it before, to get better, to go home after this and change and work on your game. You need to know what you got to get better at in order to get better.
Full court pressure from Scottie Pippen Jr. That's what he brings to the table. Misi with the spin and denied by Edey.
Great move, but Zach Edey just waiting for the defender. And Chris, that's what a good defender does when you're a big guy to rim protector. You let the offensive player come to you. You see what Zach Edey did? He just kept retreating because at some point the offensive player is going to run out of room.
Hawkins, his second made bucket. G.G. Jackson with the feed inside. Edey is alive.
Great move by G.G. Jackson, dropping it off to the big man. And again, G.G. Jackson had some great moments for the Grizzlies last year, so they're expecting some big things from him in his second year.
Misi to Hawkins. Hawkins, too strong, gets his own rebound. Also a little bit off from the corner, and we'll head the other way. Both teams providing the pressure full court. Pippen Jr. to the hole, and he is denied up top by Reeves.
Good defense by Reeves. Again, letting the offensive player come to him, taking a chance for an easy block.
Yeah, Reeves and Mitchell, the two shortest guys on the floor for the Pelicans, but making plays on defense around the basket.
Absolutely, my friend.
LaRavia in the paint, finds Edie. Such an easy target.
Yeah, Chris, it's easy to find a big man. And Chris, look at his body. Look how this young man has transformed himself into a much better athlete. That's a commitment right there, and that's something that teams love to see a young player do.
Ford off the glass.
I like that. Like Ford, you know, back in the day, Chris, when we used to tell them shot blockers, I can shoot it higher than you can jump.
For a second, I thought he was going to throw the alley-oop. LaRavia working on Hawkins, and the Grizzlies will maintain possession. Edie, 3 for 3 from the field, finds Wells way off. Ford pushing it. Mitchell back to Ford for 3. Good money.
Nice ball movement. Nice secondary break. Leads to a wide open three-point attempt by Ford. He drills it.
Pippen from the top of the key for 3. Ford off the double screen, wide open. In and out. Edie on the glass. LaRavia going baseline. Finds Edie outside. Jackson with the spin. He drops the defender, but can't drop the bucket. Pippen picks it up. LaRavia pump fake. Also off. Gigi back on the glass. And they're fighting inside. No bucket, but a lot of action around the basket. Pelicans have a 2-point lead despite Zach Edey starting off 3.
Guys to come out here and be aggressive and go into their mark as they mean to make an NBA roster.
Appreciate that, Justin. Welcome to the team, our first broadcast together. We appreciate you. G.G. Jackson, an absolute pro. What do you make of him being back here at Summer League?
Well, Chris, I think I like it. A second-year player. Look, I remember this kid coming out of high school. He was a top young player. Memphis got a steal, getting him dropping to the second round. But this talent, he's oozing with talent. And I like the fact that it shows me that not only does he love the game, but he's using Summer League in this summer to get better because he's trying to earn minutes to get into that rotation.
The cut back door. But Edey there defending. Ford was open, but it was a travel on the play before.
And again, you saw the effect of Zach Edey. It was a great back door by New Orleans, but look at Zach Edey able to wall this thing off. And then the offensive player is not trying to attempt the shot against the 7'3" Zach Edey.
LaRavia had a shot passed up on it. Edey double team, sees right over it, finds Wells. And it's Odoro who comes down with it. Mitchell had the opportunity to put it up. Ford to Hawkins, he's not shy. And he's denied. Wells with the stonewall and then the rejection. Pippen with the crossover. Can't get it to fall.
Just couldn't get it to fall.
Baseline. Misi still searching for some action. Goes right at Edey.
I love the move right there. That was a nice counter move. Zach Edey cut him off. Misi came back with the left hand, was able to drop it off over the outstretched arms.
Around the horn to Wells. Water. Misi to Ford, back door. Too strong. Misi cleaning it up.
Chris, I like this young man, Misi. Very active, runs the floor, nice counter moves, crashing the glass.
Oh, and they're tangled up at half court. They don't want to let go. Mitchell and Pippen Jr.
I love it. These guys are competing for jobs. They're competing for opportunities. Hey, man, leave nothing to chance. You got to bring it every single moment.
That kind of aggressiveness you normally see under the basket. And this time around, it happened at half court.
Yeah, I think if the official was playing a little bit closer, Scottie Pippen Jr. used one of those old vet moves his father taught him. He hooked the defender, which forced the official to blow the whistle on Mitchell. Good move by Scottie Pippen Jr.
Carlo Makovic checking into the game. Again, someone we told you about before the game. Signed that 3-year, $4.9 million deal after being a draft and stash prospect in the draft of 2022. G.G. Jackson from way outside.
Deep.
Splash.
That was out there by the NBA logo, wasn't it, Chris? G.G. Jackson increasing and showing us the range. He's been working this summer.
And Scottie Pippen Jr., you saw him on the backside of that, kind of forced that turnover without getting in the passing lane. Check this out again. G.G. Jackson from logo deep.
Wow.
So look at the Memphis Grizzlies in Summer League, Sam. What stands out to you? How about those steals per game? And it starts with the head of the snake, Scottie Pippen Jr. in that full court pressure.
The defense, the field goal percentage at 49%. For a Summer League team to average 105 points a game, that's impressive. Memphis brought a really good team to this Summer League event this year. New Orleans playing a little zone.
G.G. Jackson cutting through it. And Makovic fouls him on the way up. Very physical player.
Yeah, and he looks like a mature player. When you're talking about 23 years old, this guy should be able to step in this season and bring some much-needed depth to New Orleans. They lost some guys. I think they lost Larry Nance Jr. in a trade with the Hawks, and so they're going to need to replace that
Jonas
size.
Valanciunas.
Yeah, and Valanciunas. So they're going to need to replace that size and toughness.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, you think of what Jonas has been for them in the sense of when Zion's out, really giving you a double-double every night.
Absolutely.
And when Zion's in, still putting up big numbers.
And very efficient, so they're going to miss that production. But again, that's an opportunity for the young bigs, for the Pelicans, to make their mark.
So Jackson, as expected, having a good start to this game, leading all scorers with 7 in the first. The double team.
Chris,
Reeves gets around it.
As a coach, you know what drives me crazy when I see pick and roll defense? Make the offensive player use the screen. If we're going to give you help, why would you let him reject the screen? That's something you got to force him to use that screen.
Taylor Jenkins sitting right there, probably thinking exactly what you're saying right now, head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Why are you going to let the guy, you got one job as that point guard defender. Force him to use the green screen so we can give you help. If he rejects the screen, now you're playing 5 against 3.
Antonio Reeves, second-round pick, 47th overall. An 88% free throw shooter, so surprising to see him miss that. Jackson thought about it, gets it inside. Miller, too strong. Adoro pulls it down. A strong take, but too hot to handle.
Yeah, a little bit too much heat on that one, Chris.
And the Grizzlies losing it, thinking that they should have possession. And from our point of view, rightfully so.
I tell you what, G.G. Jackson was giving us a little dance. He was excited.
Reeves from outside. Bottoms up.
Whoa. If he can shoot them threes like he shoot them free throws, Chris, watch out.
Strong move inside. And that's Trey Jemison. Reeves fouled in the backcourt. That'll go on Miller.
Memphis always do a good job finding bigs with bodies. Those big, strong guys, don't they? They like those big physical players.
Absolutely. Reeves, almost backcourt. Duro. Indecisive. Brooks going to the hole. Quick decision.
Nice move by Brooks.
Jackson using his size and gets fouled by Reeves.
I mean, you can just see the maturity in G.G. Jackson game. Started off last year, Memphis in the G League, worked his way up, got called up. Memphis had a lot of injuries. Got some good minutes with Memphis last year, had some tremendous games. Chris had a really good game on our network, NBA TV, one night. So they're expecting some great things from this young man because a lot of people felt like, even though he was a second-round pick, he had first-round talent.
Summer League action continues tonight in Las Vegas on NBA TV, ESPN, and the ESPN app. NBA TV tonight, the Orlando Magic versus the Brooklyn Nets will be on that call as well. But on ESPN tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers, Cleveland Cavaliers at 9 Eastern, Timberwolves, Rockets at 11 Eastern. 2-point Grizzlies lead, 45 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Maduro double teamed in the corner. Brooks got the last bucket. Kicks it out this time. Maduro wide open. Everything but down. Jackson with the rebound. Jerome finds Jackson, finds space.
Too early in the shot
drop.
clock, Chris. That's one the coaching staff would have liked for G.G. Jackson. He wasn't aware, didn't know the shot clock, didn't know how much time was left in the quarter. Now he's giving the Pelicans a chance to score, and they do.
Rockington with the finish. He's got to get it up. Miller does not beat the buzzer. And does not make the shot anyway. But Jordan Hawkins getting off to a good start, carrying the offense.
Just defensively, I got to pick it up. For some reason, I'm slacking, chasing over screens, but I know that starts with, me mentally.
You guys are hot right now so far in Vegas. Top ball game right now. What do you guys got to do to keep this thing hot on for your team?
It's very hard to, win every game as possible. And, we're going to get through adversity and hit some walls, but it's on us if we're going to get through it.
Good luck the rest of the way. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Interesting to hear from G.G. Jackson about the defense, because Grizzlies did give up 25 points.
And I like that, Chris. And he didn't talk about his teammates. He talked about himself, having to get more mentally into it so he can fight over these screens and be a better, more effective defender. I like that.
Yeah, Ford with his 7th point. The Pelicans take the 2-point lead.
Man, I've been impressed with Ford, man. He can shoot it. He's smart. He gets to the basket, can finish. So far, a nice little floor general.
He's got the rock again. Rockington. Demisi. Off. Brooks. And that's off on the left side. Miller. Defended by Ford. Loses it, but Jemison putting it back up.
Yeah, Jemison in the right place at the right time. Jemison. NBA body.
Brooks loses it in the corner. And it's a great steal, but he stepped out of bounds. Allen had the quick hands, but then had his foot out of bounds. That corner giving the Pelicans some trouble, and this time they do turn it over.
Well, Chris, you're never supposed to inbound on the ball deep in the corner like that. You know that from your high school days, don't you? You remember those days.
That is the worst place to throw
Yes,
the ball in
that's
general.
a no-no. Never, ever, under no circumstances, make that pass.
Wells, again in the corner. They swing it around the horn. Allen, short. Pelicans have numbers if they push it. The strong move inside, and for his efforts, he'll go to the free throw line. So Abinor checking into the game. And Sam, this is a guy 25 years young. Had significant playing time in the G League this year, 45 games, 26 minutes a game, 13 points a game.
Yeah, Chris, he got an opportunity in the G League to improve his game. 25-year-old rookie. And again, playing in the G League, coming to the Summer League, getting a chance to improve his game, improve his opportunities to, and I'm sure he's going to go to Veterans Camp with New Orleans. Great opportunity for him right now.
Pelicans up by 2. Jerome to Wells, wide open. Good shot. Ford having a tough time with Miller and gets it up the floor in time. Ford with the crossover. Messi hounded by Allen. Brooks for 3. Beats the shot clock. Pelicans will get another opportunity.
Man,
Rockington.
Pelicans are doing a great job.
Going right back at it. Jemison with the block. Scottie Pippen Jr. checking back in the game for Memphis. Jordan Hawkins checking back in the game for New Orleans. Of course, Hawkins, a first-round pick last year for New Orleans. Scottie Pippen Jr., clearly someone playing his way into a role consistently next season for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Chris, looking for that opportunity, man. It's tough in Memphis. When you look at Ja Morant and Bane and all those guys, but again, this is what the Summer League is about.
Miller, the spin, and off to the left. They say it is off Hawkins, and it'll be Grizzlies ball. Wells. Swinging it around, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Pippen Jr. losing it.
He's got to go.
From the logo, no go.
Way to go, Chris.
Shot clock violation.
Quick thinking.
Got to be impressed with the Pelicans defense, especially here in the second quarter.
Well, yeah, you do. They're playing great defense, forcing teams to play against that shot clock, playing with a lot of toughness energy.
Hawkins had some space, but there was a foul before he got open, and it'll go on Wells. G.G. Jackson checking back into the game. He had 9 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, he only 1 for 3 from the field, Chris, but getting to the free throw line 6 times. He's using that athleticism and strength to get to the boards.
Rockington over Jemison. Messi back on the boards.
Chris, I like this young man. He's long, active, athletic, get his hands on a lot of balls.
Jemison.
And he's going to have a chance to make this team.
So with that, the New Orleans Pelicans are up 1 halfway through the second quarter.
The water is freezing.
When they had Steven Adams at that center, I do think they got a larger, more versatile version of Steven Adams and Zach Edey.
Pippen Jr. swings it out to Miller. He's looking for a shot, shoots over Ford, and it's good.
Nice move by Miller. Kind of got Ford on his heels, and he just raised up on it.
Miller all over Ford. Hawkins, pump fake, shoots over Miller. Jimison pushing it the other way. Miller looking for back-to-back buckets. And it looks like the Pelicans will get possession. And a little applause from the crowd because Zach Edey's checking back into the game.
Yeah, everybody's excited to see the big man play. And Chris, it's a treat for us because at this late date in Summer League, we didn't know if we were going to get a chance to see Zach play.
You hear the communication from G.G. Jackson?
Chris, that's the hardest thing to get young players to do, to communicate. And you got a young G.G. Jackson learning that already. It makes you just so much better as a defender.
Hawkins got some space in his third shot make.
Hey, Chris, I tell you what, man, it's going to be tough to break that lineup in New Orleans. But I tell you what, if he keeps shooting it like that, he's going to force that coaching staff to make some decisions.
Pippen Jr. to Wells. Rockington with the spin, loses it. But Johnny on the spot is there, and he can't connect either. Wells is off. Miller with the emphatic.
Chris, I saw the break, and I saw it happening, but I did not expect the dunk from Miller. What a powerful move, explosive young man.
Isaiah Miller, only 6 feet tall.
Hey, you wouldn't have never knew it by that dunk.
Rockington.
I think that's an offensive foul.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Check it out again.
First of all,
spread my wings and fly away, Sam.
All right, true. Hey, Chris, this is what I love. Look how they run the floor. But look at this pass from Scottie Pippen Jr. Pinpoint pass, on time, on target. And Miller, only 6 feet tall, but he knew what to do with it.
(34-34). It's been a close game the entire way so far. Jackson to Pippen. The pro connection.
And I love G.G. Jackson, man. He could be out here looking for a lot of scoring opportunities, but he's playing great team ball, moving the ball, playing tough defense, just having a great all-around game.
Hit Jackson 4 assists so far. They call a foul on Pippen Jr.
Yeah, I think he got his hand caught in the cookies jar a little too long, Chris. You know about that growing up. You steal them cookies all the time out the jar, right?
Get cookies and milk it on the other end. No,
slap
get
that
the
hand.
Get the steal. That's the cookies I know it gets, man.
Hey, man, as long as they chocolate chip, I don't have a problem.
Ford loses it. Hounded by Miller and Pippen. Ford gets it up before the buzzer over Edey. And one. Edey is hurt on the ground, grabbing his right leg.
Yes. Grabbing that ankle, Chris. He came over to block the shot, committed the foul, and Ford.
What? No, what are you fucking doing?
All right, big fella, get up.
Check it out again. Edey on the landing, stepped on his foot.
Yeah, stepped on Ford foot.
So an impressive move from Ford. And we hope Zach Edey is, if he feels good, he should.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, these are the type of things that are going to happen 5-6 times throughout the NBA season. You're going to roll those ankles coming down like he did. But if the guy's okay and he can walk those things off, he'll definitely come back in a regular season gameplay. I understand the caution in Summer League, but again, you know, these guys got to learn how to play through these things.
And Jordan Ford with 10 points so far for the Pelicans. Pippen. The corner pass to Wells. VC bringing down the board. The blitz by Jemison. Messi in the paint. Messi so strong.
And Chris, that's why it's tough sometimes. When you bring your bigs this far out to extend the defense, and the Pelicans did a great job of finding the open man, starting that chain reaction, and it's tough in an NBA game to trap that far out.
Pippen to GG Jackson. Messi attacking the boards. Jackson gets it back. And he's off. Messi is now down, holding his eye. The action continues. Pippen Jr. inside the Jemison.
I think Messi may need a timeout. He's struggling with that eye right now.
Pelicans were playing through it. They got the ball up the court. And Messi is squatting at half court. And is slow to move. Check it out again. See what happens here. Looks like on the way up, he got hit in the eye.
Yeah. It might not be usable, all the foot traffic down on that side of the court.
And he's had an impressive game so far. 8 points, 4 for 6 from the field. And the rookie out of Baylor, 21st pick in the draft. He's still over there searching for it. They found it.
I think he got it.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Spot on. Good eye.
Does he need the contacts if he can find them without them?
Well, he's got a good eye, Sam. That's what it is.
Got one good eye. Reminds me of you, Chris.
Well, if you can find a needle in a haystack with one good eye, I'd say that's a great eye.
That is. Too bad you can't.
Check it out, Sam. Look at this.
There it is. Great
vision.
And look at the camera people doing their job.
That's vision like Jason Kidd or
Yes.
Magic Johnson. That's what that is. And another foul on the perimeter. This time it's going against Scottie Pippen Jr. That's his second foul we've seen so far away from the basket. This time it's costly. Because Jordan Hawkins, an 85% free throw shooter, will head to the charity stripe.
Yeah, Chris, those are the type of things as a young player and as a coach, you want to coach those things out of players.
The Emirates NBA Cup tips off November 12th. The much-anticipated tournament returns with all 30 teams competing in group play and 8 advancing to the knockout rounds. But only one champion will capture the NBA Cup. Visit NBA.com/NBA Cup to learn more. Hawkins knocks them both down. 8 points for the second-year player. Jackson on the cut. Mitchell all over it, on the ground for it. Ford to Hawkins, a tough pass to bring in, but he saves it. Aduro, the spin, the fadeaway, bucket.
Oh, man, that was a great save by Hawkins to keep that ball in play. Great play by the young player, young second-year player.
1:30 to go here in the second. Pelicans up by 5. Pippen Jr. struggling with the pressure. Mitchell in position. Pippen scores through it.
Man, it's something you don't like to see a young player have to dribble that much. But under the circumstances, that was a great play by Scottie Pippen Jr. He never lost his poise, never gave up his dribble, worked the shot clock down until he got his shot. Great patience.
Reeves to Aduro. Mitchell going baseline. Verticality by GG Jackson on defense.
Great defense by GG Jackson.
Check out the Jordan Hawkins save again. Looking like a wide receiver, stretching up to get it, and then behind the back, finding his target.
Kind of like Patrick Mahomes, huh?
Reeves in that corner. Jemison taps it out. Less than 5 seconds on the shot clock. And the Pelicans call timeout. Up 3 with 37 seconds to go here in the first half.
And we hope that he gets better soon.
Great report. Bad news, though. Taylor Jenkins, head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. Clearly, he doesn't want to see his 9th pick in the draft, who has looked so good, who has not played in Las Vegas Summer League yet after playing in Salt Lake, Summer League.
Yeah, Chris, and look, he's played a lot of basketball this summer. I think it's more like a slight spring. I think if this was a regular season game, he would have walked it off and been back in. But because it's summer, it makes no sense to take chances like that with these young players.
All right, as we return to action, 37 seconds left in the first half, 5 seconds on the shot clock. And it's a steal by Miller. He's got that bounce. His second slam dunk competition bounce we've seen in the first half. Doing it for the 6-footers.
Chris, you're the same height as he. Why can't you do that?
I never had that, my friend.
I never, ever, ever. Can I keep saying never? How many times?
Never, ever, 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 ever in my life, in a dream.
In a fantasy.
Reeves, the nice move. The second effort also doesn't go down. Jackson pushing it. And a foul by Mitchell. He was riding him the entire way up the court.
Yeah, he rode him like Seattle flew on that one.
So which one you like more, the first one or the second one?
Like this.
Miller with the steal.
I like this one. This is slam dunk. Look at that. Kind of reminds me of Spud Webb a little bit. Ex-teammate of mine.
He's got a little bit more height, but certainly the same amount of bounce.
Look at that bounce.
The crowd pleaser.
And Chris, you know this from playing basketball. In order to do that at his size and his hand size, you got to be way above the rim in order to turn that thing over when you do the windmill like that.
You know, we did see a G League player, right, win the slam dunk contest last year, Mac McClung.
Yes.
I want my man Miller in it this year. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Can you see him and Mac McClung going at it?
Absolutely. That's what I want to see.
TV.
And here's the thing. I've seen Miller in a G League showcase. He defends both ends of the floor. So maybe he will be a regular NBA player next year and get that opportunity.
Because how often you and I talk about the G League players, especially from that guard position. There are some very good players in the G League. You talked about Matt McClung. You're talking about this young man right now. It's just little things that keeping them, because the guard play in the NBA is exceptional these days. So it's hard for these guards, especially if you got any little deficiency. And these guys, is not their game. It's their size. It's something little that's keeping them off that 14 or 15-man active roster night in, night out.
Well, how about this? Think about how Scottie Pippen Jr. has improved his game already. And what we're seeing today is an absolute floor general. And then he's playing with Miller, who's another floor general. These guys defend full court. They can score. And they are veterans in this league at a young age.
You know the problem is, Chris? Every year there's a new crop of young players coming into the NBA. So every year that you don't make an active 15-man roster, even though you're improving in the summer, these young guys are coming through the door, and these teams are going to give these young players an opportunity to play and develop.
Isaiah Miller, still 26 years young. And there's a foul before the ball's inbounded.
That's one shot in the ball.
Yeah, Brockington. As a coach, what do you say to a player that commits a foul?
Hey, man, you do something like that, get you taken out of the game. Because, Chris, if you think about it, look, fouls are part of the game, but to make these type of mistakes, that's just not understanding the score, the time, the situation, and understanding those are the type fouls, those are the type of mental blunders that keep you off a roster. If a coach can't trust you to make the proper decisions on the floor, then he's not going to play you in certain situations.
Scottie Pippen Jr. now 8 points, 4 assists. 8 seconds left in the first half. Pippen Jr. looking inside. Can't get it, but Wells outside. Off. And that is how the first half will end. Exactly how the first quarter ended, with a tie. It was 25-25 after 1, 43-43 after 2. But the biggest moments coming in this first half, courtesy of Isaiah Miller. G.G. Jackson, worth the price of admission. Isaiah Miller, someone who people might not be familiar with, the oohs and ahs from the crowd as he's had those crowd-pleasing dunks.
Yeah, because, I mean, that young man is electric right there, and he's put on a show. Every time he's got a chance in transition to do some things, he hasn't disappointed.
And here we are to start the second half. Scottie Pippen Jr., G.G. Jackson getting the offense going for the Grizzlies. Pippen Jr. in the post. Finds Wells cutting. And a well move.
That was a little deception, man. They put Pippen in the post, but they put him there and set that back screen for him to facilitate from inside the post.
Yeah, it's a play
Decision
we've
by
seen
Scotty.
often during the regular season with the Memphis.
Oh, yeah.
And Pippen with the steal. Pippen on the finish.
Yes. That's great on-the-ball defense right there. Scottie Pippen making a name for himself. We know he can score, but if he can play defense like that, look at G.G. Jackson all over Hawkins.
Ford around the horn to Hawkins. Hawkins hounded on the perimeter by Jemison.
Oh, great defense by Memphis.
They average 14 steals a game here in Summer League, and we
Chris,
see why.
This is just a microcosm of what you're going to see on the NBA level. Look at Scottie Pippen Jr. pressure ball, gets his hands in there, use his quickness and strength to come away with it. And now Pelicans playing against a short shot clock.
And they got to put it up. Hawkins, good
Chris.
money.
G.G. gave Hawkins too much room right now. I'll tell you one thing about Hawkins, Chris. He's a run stopper. He can flat out let it fly. And again, man, if you do New Orleans, he can shoot it like that in the regular season. David Griffin is going to be ecstatic.
Wells, everything but down. Jemison denied by Misi.
So must have got them eyes right now. Put that contact back in.
Yeah.
I can see.
See the ball good enough to get that block.
Absolutely.
So Jordan Hawkins and Ford combined for 20 points and 5 assists in that first half. Here they are connecting again in the second half. Pippen on a baseline, working on Ford. Ford with the foul.
Yeah, the official almost missed that one. Ford got his hands in the cookie jar and got caught, but that was definitely a slap on the wrist right there.
I think you think of cookies often, my friend.
Hey, man, I'm a cookie monster, dude. You give me some chocolate chips or Oreos, hey, man, you'll find me in a coma in bed, sleep after that.
Well, the real cookie monster when it comes to steals, Scottie Pippen Jr. 3.7 steals per game.
Apple don't fall too far from the tree. His dad was an unbelievable first, second team all defensive guy. Could get his hands in there at 6'8", 9", could rip you at any time.
And the Grizzlies take a 3-point lead. Hawkins trying to find some space. Throws it away. Pippen Jr. with the steal. And finishing through the defense.
Not only great body control by Pippen Jr., but the strength to ward off the defender and still drop him off.
It's the largest lead of the game for any team. Grizzlies ahead by 5. That full court pressure.
That groundhouse defense.
Hawkins pulling up from 3. The defense all over him. He was looking for a foul. But check out Pippen Jr., his second steal of the second half.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen just got his hands in there, took the ball and took it in for an easy basket.
Jackson getting all the way to the basket, but couldn't get up a good shot. It's denied. Looks like he was hit on the play as well.
Well, it might have been a little contact, but the officials probably deemed it not enough to blow the whistle.
Giroux to Jemison. Play broken up by Mitchell, but G.G. Jackson cleaning it up. That is now a 15-3 Memphis run going back to the second quarter. Hawkins, the only made bucket during that run. Pippen going the other way. To Giroux, quick hands by Reeves.
But I like the play by Scottie Pippen. You saw, Chris, that's old school basketball teaching. He got to the free throw line, stopped, gave his guys a chance to run and fill the lane, and look, give the Pelicans a good chance, good defense, but Pippen is running this show very efficiently right now.
So Zach Edey is back with the team. Looks to be in good spirits, but again, will not play the rest of this game. For those just tuning in, he rolled his ankle in the second quarter. Pippen Jr. going baseline. G.G. Jackson gets the loose ball. off. Jackson. Grizzlies playing 4 and 5. And it's out of bounds. Pelicans will get possession.
I think sometimes for Gigi, he takes up one.
Look at Zach Edey's ankle. All iced up.
Yeah, Chris, that's just precautionary. You got to put a little ice on it. Doing your job.
Ford with some space. Off balance.
Chris, sometimes that's what pressure do to you. I mean, Ford is getting into the paint, but he may be a little fatigued with Scottie Pippen dogging him, picking him up 94 feet, just don't have the energy to finish right there.
Jordan Hawkins, the only Pelicans player to score here in the second half. Contact on the perimeter. That's a third foul on Pippen Jr. All of his fouls have been away from the basket.
But he's working, Chris. Some of those fouls you don't like to see a young player commit, but you can live with him when he's picking up 94 feet and working the way he's working.
Can't foul out of something, so.
No, you can't.
Reeves tied up with Giroux, and that's a turnover.
Great defense by Memphis. If you're Taylor Jenkins and this coaching staff, you got to love the energy, the toughness, the defense, the ability to move their feet that this young Memphis team is playing with right now. They really, Chris, whatever their conversation was at halftime, they made a conscious effort to pick up their defense.
Yeah, Memphis Grizzlies Summer League head coach Jason March, hired as an assistant coach on July 7th. Pippen Jr. Up top to Trey Jemison.
Memphis is clicking on all cylinders right now.
Pippen Jr., 12 points, 6 helpers so far. Mitchell dropping the defender Reeves from outside. And the second made bucket of the second half stops a 17-2 run.
Big bucket by the New Orleans Pelicans. They needed that one.
Wells, the rotation looked good, but tough. Wells with the steal. It's another one.
Chris, you can see that happening. You don't throw cross-court passes in the NBA. That is a recipe for a fast break on the other end.
Wells tied with Pippen for the scoring lead for the Grizzlies with 12. Hawkins outside to Council. Pippen on the glass. He's telling them to run.
Let's go.
Wells open, and it pays off with a bucket.
Great leadership by Scottie Pippen Jr.
He said, come on and run with me. I'll reward you.
Come fly with me, baby.
The Grizzlies ahead by 12. Scottie Pippen Jr. dropping dimes. He's got 7 of them. Grizzlies in full control. Kicks out here. Got some drip on him, too. Literally
like
and figuratively.
When you going to pick me up a pair, Chris?
You, my friend, can pick up the tab on that. You're the former player.
Oh, my goodness.
From the Himalayas.
Yeah. Invite me to the beach house. You don't want to talk about that now, do you?
Isaiah Miller checks back into the game. He had an excellent first half, including some high-flying plays. And there he is, getting a steal. Number 6 for Memphis in the game. The spin, the drop off to Wells. In and out.
Great play by Miller. Just Memphis defense has just been relentless. They're just getting up on everything, taking the Pelicans out of everything. Look at the challenge right there by Wells.
Brooks inside Odoro. Nice soft touch.
If you're the Pelicans right now, you got to weather the storm.
Pippen Jr. waiting for the play to develop. Drops it to Pimber. And it is denied by Brooks. That surprised Pimber.
Yeah, he wasn't quite ready for it, but give him credit. He gave himself a pump fake. He's got a chance to make 2 free throws.
Watch this here. It's the eyes. So Drew Pember did not see any action in the first half. One of 4 players in the NCAA to average 20 points per game each of the last 2 seasons.
Wow.
Dalton Connect, one of those 4 players as well. Pember, 6'11", 215, out of UNC Asheville. This is the second three.
2-time Big South Player of the Year, man. And Big South Defensive Player of the Year.
Brockington. Hounded by Pippen Jr. Maduro. Couldn't get that one to fall. Pippen Jr. with the cross court, bit dangerous to move. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Memphis will take it out of bounds. Giroux with the sauce, but Brooks denies it.
I think some of these young players got to understand, Chris, when they're playing defense, when they swipe and bring that arm down, the referees are looking for that for any contact. You just got to go a vertical, contested shot, and a lot of times the offensive player will bring that ball to your open hand.
Summer League action continues tonight in Las Vegas on NBA TV, ESPN, and the ESPN app. On NBA TV tonight, we'll be back with you for that. Orlando and Brooklyn at 8 o'clock Eastern. And then on ESPN tonight, the Lakers and the Cavs at 9 o'clock Eastern. Timberwolves, Rockets at 11 p.m. Eastern. This game was tied after the first quarter, tied at the half. Memphis started the third quarter on a 17-5 run. They are now ahead by 12. Brockington to Hawkins, and that's an offensive foul on Adoro.
Yes, it was.
Clear as day.
Wells did a great job of shooting the gap, read the play, and yeah. Caused New Orleans to commit an offensive foul, moving screen.
Miller and Pember working on that other side of the court. Nothing doing. Brooks, terrific defense. Miller. Step out of bounds on the baseline. And the Grizzlies maintain a 12-point lead with 2:45 to go here in the third.
Man can score, but the things that teams want to see him get better at, defense and playmaking, I think he's checked those 2 boxes tonight.
Yeah, he played just 6 games with the Lakers his rookie season, a total of 30 minutes. Signed a 2-way deal with Memphis. You see the development, and now he looks like a certified NBA
like
player.
He's NBA ready.
Miller with the steal inside, showing off that athleticism.
Because he plays a lot bigger than his size.
Miller open to the left. Pember tried to tap it back out. Brockington pulls it out. Miller and Brockington looking like 2 football players on that.
Going at it.
So let's check out the Memphis Grizzlies situation next season. Obviously, drafting Zach Edey, boop, you plug him in as a starter. But Pippen Jr. behind Ja Morant seems like a perfect fit.
He does right now when you watch the way he's playing. And then they can always slide Marcus Smart over there and play a little point guard. But if Pippen Jr. can prove that he can handle those backup minutes, this is his job to lose.
Ford off. Adoro tried to corral the offensive rebound. Miller handling the pressure. Nothing doing for Memphis on this possession. The backdoor cut by Williamson. Brockington with some transition opportunities. Goes right up with it, and one.
Nice move by Brockington.
So some patience on that play because he looked like he had it, then he turned it into a secondary break.
And Chris, look at this nifty little move. Crossed him over between the legs. When he gets to the paint, takes the contact, able to shoot it with that left hand. It's a soft kiss off the glass.
And that's good. And the Pelicans within 9. Miller tripped up. There's a late whistle.
Either he got tripped, or there's a little man on the floor tripping people.
Check it out again. Right there.
There you go.
Legs connect.
You said these two guys going at it, right?
Yeah, we saw the foul on the other end.
Yeah.
Right back at you on this end. The communication by yourself, Brock. You hear it from the Pelicans. Pember from outside. He's off. Brooks on the boards. Ford, a productive first half with 10 points, has not scored here in the third quarter. Brooks tangled up with Wells.
Jump ball.
The Grizzlies grab that momentum to start the third quarter. See if the Pelicans have a way to try to get that back.
And for me, Chris, I'm going to be interested to see, can Memphis keep this defensive intensity up from now until the end of this game?
Ford puts it up and puts it in. His first bucket of the second half is from long range to beat the shot clock. Ask you about that momentum. That feels like a momentum-changing kind of play.
Yeah, Chris, I see why Memphis has been picking Ford up, because when you give him cracks in the seam, he can hurt you, so they need to keep pressuring him. Ford's kind of figured it out, Chris. If you're going to press me now to 4 feet, I need to return the favor.
Wells on the baseline finds some space and hits the deck. He's fouled. Check it out again. 0 on 0.
Oh, Chris, as a coach, those are the type of fouls that drive you crazy. You always tell your guys, never foul an active jump shooter. You can contest, but don't foul the guy. Those are tough shots anyway. Don't make it easier for him by fouling.
So Wells, your leading scorer in the game, 16 and counting, has made 3 triples. Ford pushing it fast. All the way to the hole. And on the putback is Brooks.
Way to work, Brooks. Way to always follow your guard, especially when he drives to the basket.
So Ford looking for the foul there. Brooks throws it down. There is a foul on the play, and Brooks getting the and one. So Ford will get a rest. 13 points leading the Pelicans in scoring. Five-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Jerome, tough shot.
Tough shot.
Gets it to drop. Rockington, he gives it up to Brooks over Wells. A great contest, and the Grizzlies win. The Grizzlies are ahead by 7 as we head into the fourth quarter.
To play in this type of competition, so we all mentally tough. We just got 10 minutes left, so that's all we got to focus on.
10 minutes left, 11 lead changes in this game, a lot of back and forth. They went on their run, you went on yours. How did your team come away with the win and pick up your first win in Vegas?
Get some stops, then we run. I mean, basketball's a game of runs, rebound, take smart shots. It's taking care of the ball and taking smart shots, and I think we're able to win this game. So.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
And with that, the Pelicans, Jordan Hawkins.
Words of wisdom, right? From a young player.
Yeah. Great points.
Yeah. Letting us know the formula of what it's going to take to come back and win this game. The question is, can they do it?
Well, that was the only quarter in which either team held an advantage. We were tied at the end of one, tied at the end of two. And Memphis outscored New Orleans 23-16 in that third quarter. So we'll see if the Pelicans can return the favor. G.G. Jackson, the size advantage. And he'll head to the charity stripe. You know, G.G. Jackson hit that one logo three.
Yeah.
And is 2 for 9 from the field overall. But Sam earning his money at the free throw line.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, look, sometimes that jump shot's not going to fall, but you try to always impress upon young players. There's a lot of different ways to score in this league. Hey, he's athletic, he's long. Put your head down, young fella, like he's doing. Get into the free throw line. And sometimes, Chris, making a couple of free throws can unlock that jump shot.
He had 9 points after the first quarter. So we'll see how he closes this one out. Had 2 points in the second and third quarters combined. Of course, G.G. Jackson, the second amount of total points in Summer League so far.
So he's getting it done.
We know he can fill it. Everything but that. Nice, strong move by Brockington. Brockington brings to the table.
He can do it inside and outside.
Jackson running the point all the way to the basket, and he is boarded by Brooks. Forward to Banner. The steal by Jerome. Allen. Off to the left. Brooks pushing the pace. The spin creates some space, but Pimber on the block. Giroux takes it himself. Oh, and it's a block and foul on Ford. You thought it was the other way, huh?
No, I thought it was a block. Giroux did a great job of using that Euro step to create the contact. Now he has a chance for a three-point play. And Memphis, all their offense has been created through tough defense. You gave me that look like you thought that was a charge.
I was judging your reaction.
Nah, it was a block.
Jean Giroux at the free throw line. Undrafted out of Houston in 2021. Last year with the Memphis Hustle in 26 games, averaged 18 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Big number.
Wow, those are huge numbers.
Pippen Jr. back on the floor, and you feel his presence immediately. G.G. Jackson, deflection. Hawkins, the pass inside to Nisi.
And Chris, the thing you like the pressure, but you got to tell the Memphis players, when you're at half court, you don't need to give those guys, these are NBA players, maybe those things you get away with in college, but NBA players can handle the ball. And you saw right there, Hawkins was able to get past him. And once he did that, it forced the defense to collapse. And he found Misi for a chance for 2 free throws.
Misi, 10 points, 5 rebounds. His first trip to the charity stripe, 21st pick in the draft, 61% free throw shooter in college.
Yeah, he's going to have to improve on that, Chris. But again, this is what Summer League is about, to reinforce those things you got to get better at.
Well, remember, he lost his contact in the first half, so we'll give him the excuse, even though he seems like a dead-eye shooter there.
Yeah, but you said it's 61% in college. You got to improve.
Pippen Jr. pocket pass. Pimber is pinned on the glass by Misi. Hawkins, the finger roll too short, but Brooks on the putback.
Brooks is hustling.
4-point game, energy rising here in the pavilion. Around the horn, Allen, way off.
Somebody close the door.
Can we see some defense yet again? Doing it on both ends.
Just great.
Misi.
Great defense by Misi right there. Blocking shot and then turning great defense into an opportunity to score. Hawkins missed the layup, but again, Brookins cleaning up on the glass.
Jemison. Pippen behind the back, hits Giroux. Yeah. That is the 8th assist for Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen working on a double-double, isn't he?
Going for the steal, his 4th foul.
Yeah, just a little bit too aggressive on that one.
Serving it up, Scottie Pippen Jr. He was looking inside that entire time. He was like, oh, I got a man out here. Easy assist.
Yeah.
7-point advantage for Memphis. 7 minutes to go in the game. They are undefeated here in Summer League play. Reeves, ball fake. Lost his balance as he went up. G.G. Jackson. You can put a J in his name, too, for jumpers.
The second three, the first from the logo. Other one deep from the right wing.
They lead back up to 10, and that's the 5th foul. It's got to be.
That's something he's got to work on, Chris. He's fouling too much. Right now he's being aggressive, but he's got to learn how to control that.
GG with the most open look we've seen today for him.
And he drilled it.
The steal by Giroux. Here you go. Oh! And he's looking for the foul on the way up, too.
I don't blame him.
Reeves trying to get it back. Finds Hawkins. Brooks on the glass, and Giroux is down.
Giroux.
Second time in 10 seconds.
He is taking a beating tonight. He's going to need the hot tub when he get back to the room tonight.
Memphis within 11-0 advantage on fast break points here in the second half.
And all that, Chris, is created off that defense.
Jemison eager to set that screen. All 270 pounds.
Hey, with a body like that, I would be eager to avoid it from Hawkins, too.
Giroux from Pippen, 2 times in a row. Those two connect for Trey.
Same results. New Orleans better get going. This game's starting to get out of hand a little bit.
Misi looking for someone inside. Rockington off. Grizzlies stampeding. Pippen Jr. outside to Wells. Off. The feed inside to Brooks. Rockington can't buy a bucket. Grizzlies up by 15. And Brockington fouls Pippen Jr. at half court. So the Memphis Grizzlies currently on an 11-0 run here in the 4th quarter, taking full control, ahead by 15. The only team to score 100 points in each Summer League game. And as you know, Summer League scoring lower than the regular season.
Oh, yes, but this Memphis team, Chris, and you can see why they're scoring. Their defense is off the charts, and right now, if you can convert defense to offense, it just makes you a better team.
G.G. Jackson beats the clock. Too short. Easy. Great on the boards tonight.
I am impressed with this young man, Nisi. He seems like he does all the little things that the New Orleans Pelicans team need. And Chris, you and I talked about this. The Pelicans right now need a center. He might be the answer.
Certainly, from what we're seeing, seems like he can be productive in the regular season. Ford to Misi. I see.
Just find them open gaps, open seams, and just keep moving without the ball and make yourself available.
Snaps an 11-0 Memphis run. Jackson, defended by Mitchell, shoots over him, and that's a brick.
Yeah, there's no nicer way to say it, Chris.
Hawkins swatted by Jackson, but he was fouled on the way up.
Yeah, I give G.G. credit. He knew that was a tough, bad shot that he took. He hustled back, trying to make it up. But as a coach, you always tell your players, if you make a bad play offensively, don't try to get it back on the offense. Try to make up for it on defense.
But the biggest story of this game is Zach Edey, who's over there. He took the ice off of his foot now. He's tying his sneaker up. This is a guy, 9th pick in the draft. You love the pick when it happened. Scored 6 points in the first quarter, looked good. Turned his ankle in the second quarter. Team chose not to put him back in, but he looks like, hey, put me back in, coach. I want to go.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, look, Chris, once you get to the game, regardless whether it's an NBA game or an NBA Summer League game, you want to play. That's how we're conditioned. These guys love to play, and anytime you have an opportunity to play in front of fans, you want to do it.
Pippen Jr. really had no space and created that.
Yeah, Chris, just watch him. You watch him on that high screen roll. He got the defender on his back. He never allowed the defender to recover. And then once he got into the paint, he used his size and athleticism to kind of hesitate to force a foul by the Pelicans.
Pippen Jr. eating some clock. Shot clock down to 9. Wells. Inside to Jemison. Powers up. And he's rubbing his head like, hey, there's some contact. I'm a big fella. I know I'm a big fella, but they got hit down there.
Well, Chris, you got to try to sell it when the official don't blow his whistle.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Pippen Jr. gets it up. Jemison skying for that board, couldn't pull it down. Hawkins loses it. Misi picks it up. Ford, built Ford tough.
He is, Chris.
And the Pelicans within 9, 3:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. And the Pelicans trying to stay in this one as we hit the final stretch. Points per game, 4 assists per game. He's got 16, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds, 3 made threes, and has been an outstanding player today.
He has, Chris. It's just like we talked about. These guys can play. It's just something little. And there's a lot of talent ahead of them on these NBA rosters. So it's just tough, man, to make these teams.
And foul called. Offensive foul on Jemison on the screen set.
I don't mind Jemison should be complaining about that. But, you know, Chris, as a defender, it is your job to try to avoid the screen. If you run into me and I'm setting a legal screen and you get hit, that's on you.
Isaiah Miller, Jordan Ford, 2 very good players who have had outstanding G League careers heading the offenses for their 2 teams. Brooks from outside. Miller pulling it down. Pippen setting up the play. Pippen, the tough fadeaway. Jemison all over Misi's back.
That's a big man in the box house, so give Misi credit, man. He's not as big, but I tell you what, he has given his body up. He's physical, and he's not backing down.
To that point, Misi is 20 years old, right?
Gotta
He's physically developed where he looks like, we call it what, the NBA ready body.
Yep, and Chris, you can tell he is going to get better, and he's going to get some minutes with New Orleans, because you and I talked about it. They lost Larry Nance Jr., and they lost Valanciunas.
Miller, just a hound in the backcourt, gets a deflection. You know, Isaiah Miller fits the profile of a Memphis Grizzlies guard.
We might be looking at our starting, New Orleans starting center. 21st pick of the draft. He may earn that spot in training camp.
Brooks to Misi, a bit behind him. Jackson with the steal to Jemison. And that is the 10th steal for the Grizzlies.
Man, it does your heart great when you see big guys can run and finish like that.
For Misi. He pulls it down, but had nowhere to go.
Now, nowhere to go. And that's one, being young, inexperienced, he's got to pass that.
So we came into this one telling you that the Grizzlies get 10 steals a game here in Summer League. They have 17 fast break points as opposed to 3 for the Pelicans.
And G.G. Jackson knows already you always reward your big man for running.
Jackson comes off the screen. And it's a hook inside on Mitchell, trying to stop Scottie Pippen Jr. Not in a penalty yet. 1:36 to go in the game. Memphis in full control, up by 11. Pippen Jr. around to Miller, off.
Just a bit outside.
Reeves tosses it up, and he'll head to the charity stripe. That'll be on Wells.
And Chris, I believe, unlike a lot of other games we've called early in Summer League, this Memphis team's so good defensively, it's going to be really, really difficult for New Orleans to mount a comeback with 1:14 to go, because Memphis defense is the reason why they've increased this lead and played so well today.
Antonio Reeves, 47th pick in this year's draft out of Kentucky. Makes it a 9-point game. To your point, these two teams just trying to close this out strong.
Yeah, and if you New Orleans, you got to pick up 9 and 4 feet. They're kind of telling me that they even sense that it's going to be tough to come back and win this game.
Jemison setting multiple picks there, and it's an illegal screen.
Yeah, this some big fella. He's got to go back. He's got to watch the tape, and this is something he's got to work on, Chris, because one of his main jobs is to set screens, clear guys out.
Another steal. That's number 12 for the Grizzlies, and that is points number 16 for Scottie Pippen Jr.
And I think that might have did it, Chris.
Reeves connecting from long range. Said, not just yet, Sam.
Down 8 with 45 seconds to go, unless they're Reggie Miller and my Indiana Pacers against the Knicks, is not going to happen.
G.G. Jackson in one corner.
Nice crossover with the Euro.
Hey, the crowd
we call it a night right now.
Hawkins tried to save another play like he did in the first half with the behind-the-back pass, but to no avail. We're going to call him
Look at G.
Euro GG, huh?
Crossover with the Euro step to the dunk. Impressive move by G.G. Jackson. Is G.G. for great game?
For today, yes. An all-around game. 17 points,
Yeah.
7 rebounds, 6 helpers. So we were tied at 36 all with 3:16 left in the second quarter. That's when Zach Edey went down. And for the Memphis Grizzlies, they took care of business.
I think New Orleans didn't get the memo. They down 10 with 18 seconds. And they're fouling.
Grizzlies have shown how good they are this summer league. Remember, Zach Edey didn't play in the first 3 games either in Las Vegas Summer League. He played Salt Lake City, so imagine if he was on the floor
Hey.
this entire time.
But if you're Memphis, I think they've seen enough. They've seen enough of Zach Edey to realize that's their starting center. He gives them the size and stuff they desperately need. And if he can do what Steven Adams did, and I think he can at a higher level because he's more offensive-minded and better offensively, I expect Memphis to be one of the top 6 teams in the West, especially with Ja Morant coming back, getting him back, Zach Edey, Jaren Jackson Jr., adding depth like G.G. Jackson on the bench, coming off the bench. He's gotten better. So I'm excited for Memphis.
G.G. Jackson trapped in the corner. We've seen that a lot this game.
Well, I keep wondering, why do guys throw the ball in the corner? Never, ever, 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 ever do that.
Grizzlies can't just run it out. There's a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
They don't need to shoot, though. Good sportsmanship by Scottie Pippen Jr. Game is over. You don't need to rub salt into the wound.
So the Memphis Grizzlies score under 100 for the first time in the Las Vegas Summer League, but they keep that margin of victory what it's been. Jordan Hawkins, that'll be the final shot. Grizzlies win by 11. They were led by Scottie Pippen Jr., who had 17 points, 11 assists.